Our special segment on EV Day, and the fact that so many players are getting into it is not necessarily a bad thing. It's also telling you how robust that entire ecosystem is. We have a special conversation also lined up on this with Tata Tech, but before that, let's get you an in-depth analysis of the sector to give you actionable insights. Puneet joins in with key data. Yes, Puneet.
Well, thanks for that. So, the penetration of electric vehicles has gone up by roughly 3 times in the last 3 years, and that's more so, of course, led by the pandemic as well, which gave rise to personal mobility going forward. So when you look at, it constitutes roughly about 6 to 7% of our current total industry. And when we go forward, this has also been led by the two-wheeler industry specifically, which has led the way because of the number of players that are there. Now, when you look at, the top 5 players in the e-two-wheeler segment currently, we have, of course, Ola Electric, which has grown their sales by roughly over 100% on a very high base of FY23 as well. But do take note of the legacy players of TVS and Bajaj as well, growing upwards of 100 as well as 300% also for someone like a Bajaj Auto. Hero MotoCorp, although on a very small case, has now also made meaningful presence in the segment. But the only disappointing part was Ather Energy, because they were very early entrants in it and haven't been able to capture the market as much. When you look at the market share, Ola Electric, of course, comes to around 35% at the end of FY24, which is month of March, one of the leading guns. And, TVS is another one at the end of FY24, very strong market share it has gained. It was ahead of Bajaj in some ways. And we look at, the market share in FY25 as well going forward, because that also gives a very different picture to what had happened at the end of March. When you look forward and move on to the next graphic and see, what has been one of the key things for all e-two-wheeler companies in the FY25 specifically. Now, Ola, while its growth has been upwards of roughly 60% in this particular time frame, the market share picture has dramatically changed from March to August, and that's been one of the key things to watch out for. So for Ola specifically, the market share has fallen from roughly 46% at the end of June to 31% now at the end of August in just a span of 2 months, while the others, such as Bajaj Auto, have been one of the biggest gainers in market share. And when we move on to the next snap, we'll be able to see the next percentage-wise split also. Now, specifically, you see that 52% is where Ola was at the end of April. This was at the end of the FAME 2 scheme. They were at 46 and now had dramatically fallen to 31% because of entrants such as Bajaj Auto increasing their presence. Look at the market share. It's gone up from 12 to almost 19% now, while TVS has maintained this market share at 20. Do take a note of Ather as well. It's doubled from the low levels of May of about 8%, 50% up by that time. But specifically, it's not been able to capture that market as we spoke about. When we move on and look at, what's happening in the four-wheeler space as well specifically, Tata Motors, of course, the undisputed market leader, 90,000 to 1 lakh cars sold, which were electric last year. They have 70% market share on the back of launches of the Nexon as well as the Punch. Specifically, in this particular, we're going to see a lot of competition. Hyundai has already said that they are launching something in this particular year. Mahindra, as well as the other company that we want to look at is Maruti, that they'll be also launching by the Q1 of Q1 of calendar year FY25. So somewhere around January is when we should expect 1 or 2 launches from Maruti in this particular segment as well. And finally, to end this particular discussion on commercial vehicles as well, legacy players are specifically in the EV bus segment is something to watch out for. We spoke about this on Friday as well. The current market share is divided between Ashok Leyland at 33% as well as Tata Motors at around the same percentage as well. While there are also new and incumbent players such as JBM Auto as well as Olectra, Greentech as well. Finally, what are the factors to watch out for going forward as well? The new FAME 3 scheme is expected to be launched in the next couple of months. This is, of course, the scheme ended in March, on March 31st, 2024 and was replaced by the EMPS scheme. But do note that the EMPS scheme had reduced the benefits by roughly 50% to buy an electric vehicle. So the 2 things to watch out for will be the outlay of FAME 3 going forward, as well as, within the segments such as EV bus segment, what could be the share, as well as for 4-wheeler cars, as well as electric 2-wheelers as well. So overall, market has been very strong going forward, multiple factors to look at. Back to you.
And it's going to be an interesting day, World EV Day. And of course, there was a